welcome to yoga. I'm Sherry, I'm with Viroha Fitness. Grab yourself a mat, maybe a beach towel if you don't have a mat, and join me. I'm going to ask you to come down to the mat or your towel. I've got a block here, which I like to sit on top of. I'm going to ask you to come into easy pose. And the block just helps me to get my hips elevated a little bit higher than my knees and makes me more comfortable. So if you don't mind, just close your eyes and listen to me, listen to my voice. And we're going to spend a few minutes just checking in to the space we're in. So I'm going to ask you to pay attention to your breath. Really focus on the inhale, drawing it out, and then on your exhale, maybe drawing it out even further. Check into any sounds around you. And name them just to yourself in your mind. Then tune in to your nose and notice what you can smell. Take a nice deep inhale. And identify any sense around you. Next is what you can feel, either by physically touching. Maybe you can feel something, sense something on your skin, underneath you, around you. And then going inwards, paying attention to your emotions. And maybe swallow and notice what you can taste. Maybe you've got a bottle of water nearby, grab a sip of water. then finally opening your eyes and looking around you. Noticing the color of things. And whether they're vibrant or they're dull. And you have arrived in your yoga space. So now I'm going to get you to start moving. And if you are sitting on a block, you may want to come down off of it. Just down onto the mat. And starting with your shoulders, shrug them up towards your ears. And then let them go. And push them down towards the floor. And then maybe pulling them back, opening up your chest. Maybe clasp those hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together in the back. And then come back to the center. And then come forward. The shoulders doing the same thing in the front. Interlace your fingers. Remembering to keep a straight spine. Turn them out the other way. And push the hands out in front of you, opening up the shoulder blades in your upper back. Squeezing your chest together. And then coming back to center. And now I'm going to ask you to do the same thing overhead. So reaching with one at a time. First one, lengthening out that side body. And then the other. And then on your inhale, reach both hands overhead. And reach for your ceiling, the sky, wherever you are. And then back down. And then I'm going to ask you to roll your shoulders. So coming up towards the ears, back, down, forward, and up and the other way. Now that your upper back is loosened up a little bit, let's do some twisting. So bringing your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind you. Inhale to lengthen your spine, exhale to twist. Looking over your right shoulder. And then coming back and switching sides. Coming back to center. Rock forward onto your knees. Swing those legs out behind you. And this is your basic tabletop position. Hands with your fingers spread nice and wide under your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips, about hip width apart. You can tuck your toes and then lift your knees up off the floor, pushing your hips into the sky. Dropping your head between your elbows. Lengthening out your calves by bending and straightening opposite legs. Pushing those heels down towards the floor, seeing how far you can stretch out that leg. Curling up your tailbone, just like there's a string attached to the ceiling, pulling it up. Then looking towards your thumbs, walk those feet in. Exhale all the breath out, bringing your head towards your knees in the forward fold. Then inhaling to come all the way up. And exhaling into mountain. Now, if you can come to the top of your mat and just stand with your feet maybe hip width apart. I'm going to explain mountain, how you get into the The full benefit of this pose, lift and spread your toes and then put them back down again. Slightly bend your knees. That activates your the lower part of your legs. Slightly tilt in your pelvis, and this activates the upper part of your legs. Straighten out your arms by your sides. Open up your chest. Pull those shoulders down away from your ears. And this is your full expression of mountain. Now you're going to do some classic sun salutations. Bringing your hands all the way up, inhaling, saluting the sun, exhaling to give me a slight back bend. Inhaling to come back up, exhaling to come all the way forward, diving down into your forward fold again. Half lift on your inhale, straightening out that spine. Exhaling to come all the way down. Stepping back with your right foot into a high lunge and bending the left foot in the front. So you're up on your toes in the back. On your inhale, come back up. Leave yourself some space in between your hips so that you can keep your balance. To salute the sun again. Coming back to the floor with both hands. Now you're going to step into plank. Now the classic is to stay in plank. If that's too much for you, you're welcome to come down on your knees. That's your variation, the lower variation. Then you're going to tuck your elbows nice and close, bending them. To come all the way down. Inhale for your cobra. Exhale, down dog. Stepping forward with that same foot, the right foot in between your hands. And keeping that back left leg nice and straight up on your toes. Again, you're going to inhale to come up and salute the sun again. Hands back to the mat. And on your inhale, step that left foot in to meet the right one. Exhale all the breath out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale again. Inhale all the way up. Salute the sun. Exhale, back bend. And come back to mountain. And we're going to do that a few more times. We'll do on the other side first. That was one half round. Exhale all the way down. Give us a half lift. Exhale down. Step back with your left foot this time into the high lunge. Inhale up with the arms. And if this is too much, feel free to come down into the low lunge by dropping your knee. If you're finding it really hard to keep your balance, there's your variation to come up. Again, stepping back into your either full plank or knee plank. Then coming down to the floor from your plank, knees down first. Then bend your elbows nice and close to your body, chest. Then your chin and your hips come down last. Inhale for up dog, so slightly bending your back. Elbows are nice and close, just your chest is off the floor. And then exhale, down dog. Inhale to step that left foot forward. And remember, either your high lunge or the variation is the low lunge. Hands back to the mat, step your right foot in. On your inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale again. Inhale all the way up. And you can come down to mountain or you can come down to prayer. And we're just going to keep flowing with that, adding some different poses. poses. This time, step back into Warrior One. In Warrior One, when you step back, put your foot flat and slowly or slightly turn in your toes. Your left leg is bent in the front, and you want some space between your hips, like you're on train tracks or cross-country skis. Turn your hips towards the front of your mat, and then inhale the arms back up. And the goal is to try and get those elbows aligned with your ears. This is your Warrior One. Bring your hands back down to the mat and step back into either your plank or your knee plank, and then chaturanga down. Knees on your exhale, chest, chin, hips. Inhale, up dog, cobra. Up dog is full arms. And then down dog. Step forward with the same foot, right into Warrior One on the other side. And on your inhale, step the other foot in. Exhale all the breath out. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale again. Inhale all the way up. Back bend. And then come back to either your mountain or your prayer. We'll do the same thing on the right side. Half lift on your inhale. Exhale all the breath out, tuck nice and tight. Step back with your left foot into Warrior One. And then inhale up with the arms. When you exhale, settle into this pose, moving your shoulders down away from your ears. Hands back to the mat. Step back to your plank or your knee plank. Chaturanga down. Cobra on your inhale. Exhale, down dog. On your inhale, step your left foot in between the hands. Warrior One on the other side. Hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step that right foot in. Exhale all the breath out, tucking your head. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, head down. Inhale all the way up. Salute the sun. Back bend. And back to your mountain. Now you're going to do Warrior Two. On your inhale, step back into Warrior Two. This time with your feet, they're aligned. You can see the heel of your front foot. The back foot is placed the same, but more in line as if you're on a tightrope. So the heel is lined up with the arch of your back foot. And your torso turns to the side this time. Pull that knee out if it wants to track in. You still have a bend in your front leg. Arms come up in this T position. And look over your left middle finger. It's Warrior Two. Come back. Bring your hands back to the mat. Step into your plank. On your inhale, exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. On your inhale, right foot comes forward again. Get your feet placed. Turn your torso towards the other side. Arms up. Look over your right middle finger. Track that knee out. Hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step the left foot in. Exhale all the breath out, tucking into your forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, back bend. And back to prayer or mountain. Warrior two on the other side. Exhale, diving all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step back with your left foot into warrior two. Hands back to the mat. Come into your plank. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Same foot comes forward. Warrior two on the other side. Hands back to the mat. Step your right foot in on the inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Back bend. So each movement is a breath, either in or out. Again. Exhale. Stepping back with the right foot into warrior two. And this time you're going to reverse your warrior two. So the front hand palm comes up and you're tipping back. Bringing the right hand to the back right leg, left hand goes up to the ceiling. Coming back to warrior two. Taking a breath, hands back to the floor. Inhale to plank. Exhale down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Look toward your thumbs, right foot on your inhale between the hands. Warrior two on the other side. Reverse it, palm comes up, tip back. Come back to warrior two. Hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step your left foot in. Exhale down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. We're just going to take a 5-minute break and we're going to come back. Hello, welcome back to a moment of tranquility. You're doing yoga with Sherry. And we are moving on to triangle. Starting with a classic sun salutation, come to the top of your mat. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale to come back up, exhale, diving forward. To your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. On your inhale, step back with the right foot. This time, keeping your front leg straight. So your back foot is down, flat to the floor, toes slightly pointed in, jutting your hip to the right. And you're coming up with the right arm to the sky, down with the left arm to the floor. You can be on your knee, you can be on your shin, you can be on your foot, maybe the floor, whatever. If you have a block, you can use a block. It's not important to reach the floor, just what feels right for your body's alignment. Turning your torso towards the side. Then coming back to the floor, bending your knee to help you get your hands down and stepping back to plank. Chaturanga down. So exhale, knees, chest, bending your elbows, chin, hips last. Inhale, cobra. Just bringing your chest off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards your thumbs. Inhale, right foot forward, in between your hands. Get the placement of your feet. Straighten out that right leg in your front. And then open up to your triangle. Exhale to bring both hands back to the mat. Inhale, step your left foot in to meet the right. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold again. Inhale, up. Salute the sun. Exhale, back bend. Inhale to come back up and exhale back to mountain. You're going to do the same thing on the left side. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Inhale, step back into triangle, open up to the side. In Sanskrit is Trikasana. Both hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step into plank or your knee plank. Exhale, knees down, bend your elbows, chest down, chin, hips last. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot between the hands. Triangle on the other side. Straighten out that front leg. Hands back to the mat. Inhale, step your right foot in. Exhale. Back bend. Exhale back to mountain. Now you're going to revolve that triangle. Half lift. Forward fold. Step back with your right foot. And this time your right hand stays on the floor, your left arm comes up. So you're turning in the opposite direction, trying to keep that front leg straight, twisting, which is very detoxifying for the spine. Hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step into your plank. Chaturanga down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping your right foot in. Left foot, or left hand, stays on the floor. Straighten out this front leg. Right arm comes up. Hands back to the mat. Inhale your left foot forward. Exhale. Half lift. Fold again. Inhale all the way up. Upward salute. Exhale, back bend. Inhale up again, and maybe you want to come to prayer instead of mountain. Inhale up. On the left side, step back. Left hand to the mat, right arm up. Revolving your triangle. Hand to the mat. Inhale, plank. Exhale, 8-limb staff. Cobra. Down dog. Left foot forward. And the other side. Hands to the mat. Inhale to step the right foot in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Back bend. Exhale to mountain. Inhale all the way up. Step back with your right foot into that high lunge that we did at the beginning. So you're bending your front leg this time. And if this is too much, feel free to come down to the low lunge by just dropping your knee. And you're revolving this one, okay? So hands come to prayer, twisting, hooking that elbow, right elbow, on the outside of your left knee. Bring your hands back to the mat. Inhaling to step into plank. Exhaling down. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Look towards your thumbs. Inhale to step the right foot in. So we're in the high lunge or the low lunge. And twisting with your hands at prayer. And the goal is to try and keep your hands at the center of your chest here. You're really twisting that torso. Hooking your left elbow on the outside of your right knee. Hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step that left foot in. Exhale, all the breath out. Inhale to come all the way up. And back to mountain. We're going to do the same thing on the left. Exhale, back bend. Come forward. Half lift. Exhale. Step back with that left leg into your high or your low lunge. Again, revolve your lunge. Hands back to the mat. On your inhale, step to plank. Exhale, down to the mat. Cobra. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forward on your inhale. Sorry, left foot. You want to be on the opposite side. Twisting, trying to keep your hands at your chest. Hands back to the mat on your inhale, stepping in with the right. Exhale, all the breath out. Inhale, half lift. Exhale again. Inhale, all the way up. Back bend. And back to mountain. So that's the end of the classic sun salutations. We've done a lot of basic moves. Let's come back down to the mat. And you're just gonna come back up to salute the sun. Exhale to dive forward again. From here, step back into your downward facing dog again. And drop to your knees to do a knee plank. So your hands, fingers spread wide under your shoulders, and bring your hips down. Then if you come all the way down to the floor, I'll show you that upward facing dog. So your hands are underneath your shoulders. Inhale to come up, straightening out your arms. Maybe you can get your hips off the floor and just the tops of your feet are touching. Bring your knees back down and shift back into table pose. So table, if you remember, if you were with us from the beginning, if not, I'll go over it again. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, hips about knees about hip width apart. And you're going to balance your table. So lifting your right arm and your left leg at the same time. And reaching with your fingers in front of you and your toes behind you. Stretching as straight as you can in your balancing table. Coming back to your table and do the same thing on the other side. Left hand arm comes up, right leg comes up. And coming back to center. From here, go into child's pose. So you have two choices. You can have knees together, sit back on your heels, and then come down to the floor. Bringing your forehead right to touch. Your hands are on either side of you, hands, palms up. Hands are right beside the feet. Or you may prefer wide-legged child's pose. So your knees go to either side of the mat on the outside. Your big toes are touching in the back. Again, sit on your heels and you stretch forward with your hands and your arms. Again, forward, forehead down. Walk your hands back up towards you. And bring your knees together. Back up on your tabletop. From here, go into that knee plank again. You're just going to come down to the floor and then keep bend your elbows to get your hips down. And you're going to go into what's called locust here. So if you bring your arms alongside your body, palms up, forehead down. Inhale to lift your arms and your legs up off the mat. And breathe. Forehead back to the mat. Bring your hands back to your shoulders and flip over onto your back. I'm going to take just flipping myself around. I'll show you a couple of different poses before we go into Shavasana, your final resting pose. If you come up on your elbows, so your knees are still bent, your feet are on the floor, come up onto your elbows and then push up onto your hands. And if you were just to slightly lean back, you can feel some strength in your torso and your abs. This is a low version of boat. If you want a little bit more, you can bring your feet up off the floor. And if you want a little bit more, you can bring your hands up off the floor. And if you want a little bit more, to really challenge yourself, you can straighten out your legs. And that is your full expression of boat. Come back down to the mat. Straighten out your legs. You're going to come into one last pose before your final one. Rock slightly to the side to get your hands underneath your glutes. And then come up on your elbows on your inhale and drop your head back into fish. So you've got an arch in your back here. You're pointing your toes, feet are together. Come back down onto your back. And I'm actually going to get you to do one more pose before Shavasana. I promise. It's easy. So right foot in or right knee into the chest. Hug it nice and tight. Then pull it across your body into your supine twist. Straighten out your right arm and try and keep that right shoulder on the mat, looking over your right shoulder. Your right knee is going towards the floor on the other side. You're trying to keep your upper back in contact. Come back to the center and switch legs. Left knee comes in, hug it tight to your chest, and pull that right knee across. Straighten out your left arm. Keep both shoulders in contact with the mat and twist the lower part of your body. Come back to center, hug both knees into your chest. nice and tight. Maybe rock side to side. Then straighten them both out. And relax. I'm just adjusting my position to come into Shavasana with you. And relax everything. Let your shoulders melt into the mat. Start at the top of your head. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. And we're just going to stay in this pose for quite a few minutes. Spend a few minutes in the fetal position. Maybe you want to stay here. If you want to move, just wiggle your, quite some movement back, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Then roll over onto your right side. Make a pillow with your arm and curl your knees in. Then bring your hands to the mat, push yourself up, and come back into that easy pose that we started with. And again, you can leave your eyes closed if you're comfortable. Bring your hands together in prayer. And thank yourself for taking this time for you. And thank you for joining us in a moment of tranquility. Namaste.